Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Our topic today is relationship dakwah and business with evidence from Golden East. Before we continue to our presentation, I will introduce our group members. First is Haikal Hanafi bin Shafi'i. Second, Ahmad Irsyad bin Abdul Junid. Third, Muhammad Khairul Anwar bin Mokhtar. And lastly is me, Muhammad Akmal Hakim bin Abdul Halim.
My name is Haikal Hanafi and I will present an abstract. First, da'wah is the process of conveying various Islamic teaching, not only the scholar but also the others as well. One of the definition of da'wah is the effort of the scholar and people who have knowledge of Islam to provide lessons to the general public in accordance with what they have in matter of worldly and religious affairs by Abu Bakar Zakaria. Generally, an entrepreneur refers to an individual who organizes, manages, and bears the risk for a business or company. The term entrepreneur comes from the entrepreneur, which is the French language meaning risk, by Richard Cantillon. Dawah and entrepreneurship in the Golden East era has continuity, and in this paper discuss the concept and relationship between da'wah and entrepreneurship, evidence from Golden Age of East. This discussion is based on information on the legitimate internet and books.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Khairul Anwar bin Muhammad Mokhtar. Research question. First, proposition that link da'wah to entrepreneurship. If we look at the core content in the word of Allah Ta'ala or the words of the Prophet, that we will find that da'wah is often synonymous with trading or business. 2. Islam is a product. This relation can be seen on the side that Islam, carried by Rasulullah SAW, is a new religion that is being spread in a society that already has a religion, but that religion misleads people. Third, the Prophet was educated in an entrepreneurial culture. One thing to keep in mind is that the Prophet was born in an environment of entrepreneurial culture. Makkah is a city-state that has no source other than a house of God located in the middle, and people from all over Arabia flock to Makkah for worship at the Kaabah. Literature review. According to a study by Maududi, it maintains that Islam encourages man to integrate his work and everyday objective with religion and spirituality and grow every day on earth while establishing God's will. In a similar vein, Baumer, Haidar, Nyland, and Smith posit that one's spiritual endeavors in Islam must take place in the context of ummah relations, of which work is an essential part. Islam rejects perceiving work as merely a secular activity or a means to attain material pleasures. The whole set of Islamic practice, according to Ahmad, revolve around the axis of intention. This is because from the Islamic point of view, human activities, including entrepreneurship, are governed by inner intentions, drive, and motives. Next, according to a study by M. Said Aukil, the principle of justice is applied to business as much as to other aspects. It basically means that the law is above all citizens. In an Islamic business context, it safeguards the rights of consumers and the poor in particular. In providing safe and useful good and service, it should be with reasonable price such that effort made by the producers or sellers and value added to customers are fairly compensated. Fundamentally, the essence of the Islamic spirit involves striving to reach the common good by making real efforts, be they intellectual or physical. Specific to Islam is that while every bad doing receives an equivalent section, doing a good thing is rewarded 10 times. Thus, according to a study by Faisal, Ridwan and Kalsom in the journal The Entrepreneur's Characteristics from Al-Quran and Al-Hadith, in Islam, there is no separation between entrepreneurial activities and religion. Islam has its own entrepreneurship characteristic and guiding principles based on Al-Quran and Al-Hadith to guide entrepreneurship operation. By virtue of human nature, the person must first be a Muslim, then the entrepreneur. He has the responsibility to perform ibadah and be a Khalifah. Muslim entrepreneurs should search for Allah's blessings above all other factors. Muslim entrepreneurs perform entrepreneurial activities not solely for profit, but above all to fulfill the fardu kifayah.
Alright, my name is Muhammad Kamal Hakim and I will continue our presentation about the dakwah and entrepreneurship. The meaning of dakwah in Arabic word is issuing a summons or making an invitation. The term is often used to describe how Muslims teach others about the belief and practice of their Islamic faith. In modern Islamic theology, dakwah serves to invite all people, both Muslim and non-Muslim, to understand how the worship of Allah is described in the Al-Quran and practiced in Islam. And then about the entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship involves the provision of human needs in terms of product and service, as well as the exchange of resources through local and international sales and purchase. In short, the field of entrepreneurship covers the sector service, production, manufacturing, construction, agriculture, livestock, mining, relationship, and others. Now, we move to the next slide about the concept of dakwah entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship dakwah means the involvement of entrepreneurs involved in various fields of entrepreneurship in area with monitoring so that business meets the Sharia of Allah and is recognized where the business is able to benefit for the Muslim and non-Muslim community. To fulfill this concept, entrepreneurs need to meet such characteristics in preaching in business. For the first, entrepreneurs need to get a good characteristic in preaching in business. For example, the Prophet are humans being who are willing to give all their strength and abilities despite opposition and humiliation while doing business and while preaching to his customers. Second, entrepreneurs must have a good self-skill, views broad, and willing to take risks and have a leadership talent. So entrepreneurs need to be honest, true, trustworthy, and wise in performing their duties. And entrepreneurs need to show good personalities in business so that business can thrive and be well received by society. Hereby, what this dakwah effort is easier if you get respect from others. Third, entrepreneurs need to give something valuable and valuable to the community first. Entrepreneurs must take note this before they engaging in the world of dakwah, so that the effectiveness of the concept of dakwah in business is more successful.
My name is Ahmad Irsyad bin Arjonet. We go to the next slide about relationship dakwah and business with evidence from Golden East. Trade relations between the source Arabs and the natural community Indonesia has existed since before the birth of Islam. Both of these parties had established a business, and among the goods traded at the time were such as skins, agarwood, animal, skins, gold, silver, diamonds, and spices among the goods brought from the archipelago. In 610 Masehi, the Prophet Muhammad SAW was appointed as a messenger. So, with that, Islam began to shine from the city of Mecca. The news of the advent of Islam spread quickly throughout the country, the Arabian Peninsula. Among the reasons is through business and da'wah itself. In the year 630 Masehi, it was known as the year of the message. That is, the Arab tribes had sent them to Yathrib, and the people of Yathrib expressed allegiance to the Prophet at the time, which was one of the da'wah at the time. After that, Rasulullah SAW also sent the companions, including Mu'az bin Jabal, to the south, the Arabian Peninsula, Yemen, to preach by teaching the Quran and the laws of Islam. Yemeni society has fully accepted Islam and studied it well. The basic teaching found in Islam are to believe in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and believe in the Prophet Muhammad SAW as an apostle. In the 1st century in Islam, 7th century Masehi, the Arabs had come to Sumatra, and in 684 Masehi, they had made village in the western part of the island of Sumatra. During the reign of Caliph Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan, 661 to 680 Masehi, he had sent a letter to Lokitavarman, Raja Sriwijaya, which is for good purpose, with the aim of inviting him to embrace Islam and also establish cooperative relationship within the business. Here we can see which da'wah and entrepreneurship relationship has been forgot due to the glory days of the East itself. The business relationship that has been established has been continued by Caliph Sulaiman bin Abdul Malik 715 to 717 Masehi, which sent a fleet of 35 ships to the Sabah Estuary Jambi, then proceed to Ceylon toward Sriwijaya, Palembang. They are stopped for a few months. They then continue the journey to China to develop da'wah and can indirectly establish relations between a country, which can be through business. The discovery of the tombstone of Sheikh Abdul Qadir Ibn Hussein Shah Alirah, that's 290 Hijrah or 902 Masehi, in Tanjung Inggeris, Al-Usta. This is also a proof that Islam has spread in Malaya around century 10 Masehi. And discovery of money Kelantan dinar, that's 557 Hijrah or 1000 181 Masihi, shows that Islam has practiced and influential in the state by the 12th century, and with the meeting of the dinar currency strengthened the relationship of da'wah and entrepreneurship brought by this era of Eastern wonder.
For the conclusion is, the process of development of Islam in the archipelago is through several factors so that Islam spread throughout the territory of the archipelago island Malay world. There are several factors. The spread of Islam is growing rapidly in the first Malay nature factor, the trade itself. As we know, the east coast of Sumatra is a strategic area for these Arab traders to spread Islam to the people of Sumatra, especially the Gul community. These Arab traders, in addition to trading them, also preach to the local community. These Arab scholars were motivated to spread Islam from the teaching of Islam itself, which is found in Surah Al-Imran verse 104. Therefore, from this factor, da'wah and entrepreneurship, which is the evidence of the glory days of the Far East, can be concluded.